Let's talk about Lean Startup and HADI-cycles. So two different methodologies, but they have the same goal. So let's talk about this. Firstly, start with this book. I really recommend it to read. The main idea of the book is that success can be planned. So successful startup can appear if you follow correct process and we do it very carefully. So before we talk about customer development, here we talk how to use it on a daily basis. So just remember, success can be planned. So it's very important. Everybody would like to have manageable success. Usually, from the management point of view, startups have two extremes. Which ones? Of course, it could be too bureaucratic. To decide something, you need to wait 25 people, or complete chaos when nobody is responsible for something and or everybody responsible for everything, and it's also very problematic. So what is the correct way? So Lean Startup helped us a little bit with that. So we said that everything we need to build, measure, and learn from it. So quite friendly, quite understandable. The main idea, just if we build something, we need to measure it and learn from it. So if we build something, we measure it, we can get some knowledge. By the way, getting knowledge, it's not the easiest part, by the way, also. Sometimes your results are very tricky, and to get knowledge could be a most difficult part. But the idea just the product work like this. Sorry, not the product, but the process work like this. Everything you need to measure and get knowledge. By the way, you're getting knowledge from your audience, from how your product interact with your audience. Also about HADI-cycles. HADI-cycles have the same goal, but looks a little bit different. So firstly, we create a hypothesis, then we do an action, then we get some data, and then from data we get some insights. So technically it's the same, but it's from a little bit different. And by the way, you can use it not only in development, you can use it in marketing and sales and all processes. So this is the structure for all processes. It's better if all your company teams will use the same methods. So all of them, like create hypothesis, do the action, get data, search for insight, and then repeat it again. So by the way, very nice idea that, for example, in Russia, guys from search engine optimization, they created a strip club. Can you imagine? They start applying HADI-cycles in strip club, and they were very successful. I was just listening to the interview. It just for me was shocked that in offline business this theories works very nice. For example, they test how much tips you can collect from your customers. They put like in a check 1 gum, 2 gums, like 3 gums, and like when you put a check, also in restaurants, and they see how many gums you need to put in a together with the check to get more tips. So they did ABC testing and I choose the best results. But I just said that these theories can be used in offline business, and what is important in offline business, sometimes it provides much better results because less competition. So to avoid full house, all teams at the company can use the same methodology. So they can learn fast and make right decisions, and it somehow help you to control the process, because not everybody doing everything, but you get some data, you do your next steps on analyzing this data. And let's remember my previous presentations. There are a problem, solution, and the selling segment. And for example, if we have hypothesis in a problem, for example, we have right problem hypothesis, right solution hypothesis, and right segment hypothesis. And for every hypothesis, let's say we have success rate 10%. So if we can choose right problem, provide the right solution, and sell it to the right segment. So it's like 10% multiply 10% multiply 10%. So it means like 0.1% to achieve success. So, but you have 1,000 variants to achieve the success, and you need statistically test all possible ways. So test fast, technically correctly, get statistical significant, and the main idea, you need to test a lot and very carefully, and also you need to test everywhere. And so your organism, like your company, need to mutation. You know, like organism in the wild, they need mutation or they will die. So also company need a mutation, so change to find a better position. So what is the maybe main errors and main issues when people use HADI cycles? So firstly, it's correct formulation. We'll talk about this later. So hypotheses need exact structure. So it's not everything is hypothesis. So let's start. That is, every hypothesis has strictly good structure. So second one is when people start talking, let's do a good product and everybody will buy us. No, we need to do exact thing in exact product to empower something. So the idea, let's say, we need to provide different ways of onboarding and choose which one is better. Or for example, we need to find all errors in onboarding, and it will improve our conversion to registration or like to activation. But not like we need to have a good product. If we have good product, everybody wins. No, it's bad. It's a good idea, of course, to have a good product, but also teams that talking that hypothesis is everything. No, hypothesis is not everything. Hypothesis is only hypothesis. It's don't mix it with facts, with bugs, and everything else. If bug, we need to solve it. If fact is just fact, and hypothesis is only an idea, and we will talk about this later. So focus on metrics. The idea just with hypothesis we can measure everything. So if we do something, we need to measure. If we're unable to measure, no reason to do it. Or if we're unable to measure it, sometimes there are also other methods how to do. But about HADI cycles, it's about measure. Next, we need to plan the process. The idea just hypothesis is not like we try one hypothesis and now we live better. No, it's like you go to work every day, you do something, you know, let's say accounting person doing work every day. You know, like SEO masters, it's like SEO engineers, they do work every day. Developers, they do support every day. So the same with hypothesis. Once you start, it's like engine that works every time. So we need to do periodic check. We need to start to get results, to analyze the results. And as I said, analyzing could be also not the easiest part. And do not forget that it's very rare could be done by one person. Of course, one person can do programming, he can do designing, he can do, I don't know, development, everything. But usually you need here like maybe designer, maybe developer, maybe different type of developers, maybe marketing team, maybe product owner, maybe maybe have a growth hacker, maybe have a consultation. You can also need your consultant to have connection with customers. So sometimes nearby one hypothesis can work dozens of people. Sometimes only several. Yeah. And the main idea with a lean startup or HADI cycles to manage your product fast, flexible, and manageable. So you can manage it. It will be still flexible, still fast, and still manageable. So it's very important, these three things. So thank you guys. See you in the next video.